Hello guys, and welcome to the complete Flutter developer course. In this course, we are going to master Flutter programming language. So keep us making new videos by subscribing and liking our channel. So let's start downloading and installing Flutter on Windows. So let's start by installing Flutter on Windows and configure it with Android Studio. So we go first to Google Chrome or Internet, and we go to Google and we type Flutter. We go to the official site, which is flutter.dev. And in this series, we are going to make beautiful apps and many apps. So don't miss to like and subscribe below. So we click on Get Started. This is the official site of Flutter, and we select the Windows. If you have Mac or Linux, we will see later in other tutorials. But till now, let's go to Windows. And if you are in China, please first read using Flutter in China. Now let's click on Windows. And we see here the system requirements. We see we need to have an operating system, Windows 7 or later, and disk space 400 does not include the space for IDE tools. And we have two tools, Windows PowerShell and Git for Windows. But Windows PowerShell is pre-installed with Windows, so we don't need it. We need Git for Windows. We click on Git, and this is a downloading page for Git. It is here. Let's start downloading. So keep us making new tutorials and follow the course Flutter daily uploads. So don't miss to like and subscribe, and we will continue till making professional apps. And make sure to see the complete Android developer course. Now let's install Git. We click open. Next. Additional icons here. Use Git through. Okay. Next. Okay. From command line, use Git for okay, next. Use OpenSSL. Next. Okay. And use Windows default console Windows. And click next. Enable experimental build. I will not enable, and waiting for installation to finish. And if you see if you want, you can see and read the book, download the GUI, and get involved in community of Git. Now installing have been finished, and we click finish. Now back to Flutter website. We have finished these requirements. Now let's move to the Get Flutter SDK. we are going to download the following installation bundle to the latest release. We click here, and it is 652 megabytes. Let's start downloads. Okay, this have been finished, and we extract the file to see whenever you want. You need your folder. I will put here Flutter SDK, and I will extract it. Now we are downloading, we are just extracting the Flutter SDK to the specific folders. Extract the zip file and place the contained Flutter in the desired installation location. For example, C source Flutter. Do not install Flutter in directory program files that requires private privileges. So we go to C, Flutter SDK, and Flutter here. So I want to rename this src sources and Flutter, and this is Flutter SDK. So we run the Flutter console, and here we are going to see the welcome to Flutter console. Okay, so now Flutter SDK has been installed. I will Flutter underscore doctor, or we will configure it in the Flutter doctor. Okay, Flutter doctor. This will organize and help us to find what we have installed in our on Windows. So Flutter is installed with the latest channels table. Android Studio 3.5, Flutter plugin is not installed, and Dart plugin is not installed, and no connected devices. So we need to configure this to put them into correct state. So, but before we proceed, we need just to make sure that we can run Flutter in all Windows, in any place in Windows. So, in order to do that, we need to add a class path to our environmental stable. We go to Control Panel. We go to user accounts, change account type, user accounts, and we go to user accounts, change my environment variables, and here we go to path, we click on it, and here we go to create a new path. Where is our SDK? So we go to C, source, and Flutter. I will copy this folder, and we create a new path, and we select this. But just to see the bin file, this is the bin file. Okay, we need to configure it. I just need to put bin. So we are doing this because we need to run Flutter in all our folders and files in Windows. In order to do that, we need to edit the environment variables. We click OK and click OK now. Now we can run and see our environmental, our Flutter. We go now here and everything is good. Now, I have downloaded and installed Android Studio. I will show you now how to download and install Android Studio. To download Android Studio on Google, go to the download the official site. This is the Android Studio official site. Click download and agree the terms and conditions. It is about 710 megabytes. Wait for downloading. So as the Android Studio is a favorite and best IDE and best code emulator, code executor, and development environment for most of developers. So we recommend that you download this because it is intelligent code coder, flexible build system, real-time profilers, and emulators, and have many specifications. As for Windows, I'm using Windows 10, 64-bit. The Android emulators will see it's not it will not run except for 64 and have 4 GB RAM and 2 GB minimum requirements. So we will wait to the finish and click OK. This is the installer of Android Studio. I'm making a new course about Android. Click next. Make sure you subscribe and like. Click install, and this is a process. Make sure you subscribe. We are making a new professional Android development course about making the apps, about creating professional app and real world apps. So subscribe and like to get notified and get latest updates. Now let's click start Android Studio and finish. Do not import settings, and this is Android Studio. And this is the welcome screen. Now click on standard, next, and I prefer using Dracula because it's more best theme. And this is SDK we need to download. This is the latest and SDK, and remember this is the SDK folder path. So click now finish and wait for downloading components. It may take a lot of time. See the other videos of our channel how to download the SDK offline. So despite waiting hours for Android SDK to download to be downloaded, you can click in one package and you can reserve this SDK for later. Now let's configure our SDK and check it is the latest. It is number 29. It is the latest till the production of this video. Now these are the components of Android 10. We use them later in our emulators. Okay, we can download these, but for now it is very good. We configured our SDK very well. Now let's configure our AVD. AVD stands for Android Virtual Devices. So let's configure. If select phone, I prefer using Pixel 3 because it is bigger size and it's approximately near to my phone Note 8. So now configure select your device, whatever you want to device. Now we need to download the image system of this emulator. I choose the Q. Q is the latest, which is 10, Android 10. Now click on download and waiting for downloading the image. After downloading, it is unzipping, so it is now installing the system image. Now click finish. Note that my virtual X or technology is disabled. I will configure it in BIOS, and I will make a video about it. Enable it in BIOS. If it is not enabled in your computer, we will see in next videos how to enable it. Now, in order to download to configure the plugin in Android Studio, we go to Android Studio. We open Android Studio and back to our Flutter.dev website. We go down, update your path, run Flutter Doctor, and this is an example. Now we go to Android setup. Installing Android Studio, we go here and we see in the how to download it. Set up Android emulator. Okay, so back to our Android Studio, we click configure and we click on plugins. Now we search on marketplace, we search for Flutter. I'm not connecting to internet. Now going to put Flutter. Now we go to here. This is our Flutter plugin, and we click on install and accept. Install required plugin. So we need also Dart. So click yes, and it is downloaded. It's 2.8 megabyte, and restart ADE. Activate change and restart ADE. So Android Studio now have been installed the plugin, Flutter plugin. So if you notice that this plugin is also also added start a new Flutter project. We click on start Flutter project. We click on a Flutter application. We click on next, and here we need to specify the Flutter SDK here. So we go to click this, see, and we go to the source file and Flutter, and this is our SDK. We click on next, company name, and use and authenticate, and we click finish. And here we go. This is our Flutter app. And welcome to Flutter. The Flutter plugin anonymously reports features. Okay, we close it. And this is we are running Flutter inside Android Studio. And this is will have a built-in and ready-made app or template. So let's click run. Just configuring the emulators. We go, in order to configure emulators, we click here and we select. I have also showed you in the previous video how to configure it, and we create and starting the APK. By the way, this is our Android Master Android Pro. You can learn Java, you can learn Android, also source codes, video tutorials, coding, and settings. Open emulator, multiple emulators. I will click run. I click it. and initializing Gradle, because Flutter will detect which AVD Android virtual device is using. We are using Android, so it will run and initialize Gradles and configure it to our project. Okay, this is our app. This is Flutter demo page, and we have run it successfully and installing Flutter successfully. This is our app. We click plus and you have pushed the button. Okay, back to the console. We go to put Flutter Doctor. Flutter has been installed successfully. Some Android license not to serve this license. Android SDK and Android Studio and connected device when available. Thank you guys. I hope you subscribe and like and comment below for thanking us and making new tutorials. Don't miss to like, subscribe and comment. And thank you guys. See you in next videos. Daily uploads. Don't miss to subscribe.